Sometimes the strongest hearts belong to the ones who have suffered the most. This is the story of a senior dog who refused to give up. A dog who walked 5 long miles through cold nights, empty forests, and loneliness, all in search of just one thing: kindness. His name is Rusty. Rusty wasn't always old and fragile. Once upon a time, he was a young, energetic pup with soft golden fur and a tail that wagged at every sound. He grew up in a small home on the outskirts of town, a simple house with wooden floors, a tiny backyard, and sunlight that streamed through the window every morning. Rusty didn't need much: a warm place to sleep, a bowl of food, and someone to love. For over 13 faithful years, Rusty believed he had that. His owner wasn't perfect, few people are, but Rusty loved him unconditionally. He waited at the door every morning. He barked softly when the car pulled into the driveway. He celebrated every moment he could. That's what dogs do. They love without hesitation, without judgment, without limits. Rusty gave his whole heart, and for most of his life, he believed it mattered. But time changes everything. As Rusty grew older, his fur lost its shine. His joints stiffened. His eyes turned cloudy. He walked slower. He slept more. Age comes for all of us. But for Rusty, it meant becoming a burden in the eyes of the person he trusted. Little by little, attention turned into annoyance. Warm words turned into muttered complaints. Meals grew smaller. Walks grew shorter. Rusty didn't understand why. He only knew something was wrong. He felt it in the silence, in the coldness, in the way he was suddenly being pushed aside. But he still loved. Because that's what dogs do. One chilly evening, Rusty was lifted gently into a car. He wagged his tail, thinking they were going somewhere special. He pressed his nose to the window, watching streetlights blur past. The car drove longer than usual, farther than Rusty knew, through narrow roads deep into the forest. Rusty grew nervous. This wasn't normal. The car finally stopped. The door opened. Rusty stepped out onto the cold, damp forest floor. He sniffed the air. The scent of pine and wet leaves surrounded him. Then, he heard the sound that shattered his world. The car door closing, the engine starting, the tires turning away. The lights grew smaller and smaller until they disappeared. Rusty ran a few steps after the car, but his arthritic legs couldn't keep up. And suddenly, he was alone. Rusty waited and waited. Hours passed. The cold deepened. The wind howled. But he didn't move far. He kept looking in the direction the car had gone. Because in his heart, he believed the person he loved would come back. Dogs don't understand abandonment. They only understand loyalty. Eventually, exhausted, Rusty curled up under a fallen log to sleep. His old bones ached. His stomach growled. But he still hoped. When morning came, Rusty woke up to a silent forest. His fur was damp with dew. His paws were stiff. His body weak. He started walking, following the faint smell of human scent. He didn't know where he was going, only that he had to move. He walked through thick underbrush, over fallen branches, through mud and thorns. His paws bled. He limped, but he didn't stop. He believed that if he kept walking, he would find the person who left him, or someone, anyone, who might care. The second day was harder. Rusty's hunger grew sharper. He drank from small puddles and licked rain off leaves. He stumbled at times, his arthritis making every step painful. A group of deer ran past him. Birds flew overhead. Squirrels darted between trees. Life moved on around him, but Rusty struggled, alone. Occasionally, he heard distant traffic, and his ears perked up. He tried to follow the sound even when his legs trembled beneath him. His body was failing, but his spirit refused to. As darkness fell again, the temperature dropped dramatically. Rusty curled beside a tree trunk, shivering. Coyotes howled in the distance. Every sound made him lift his head, scared but too weak to move. He felt tiny, lost, forgotten. But still, he hoped. Hope kept his heart beating. Hope kept his legs moving. Hope kept him alive. On the third day, something changed. Rusty smelled smoke in the wind, the scent of human presence. He followed it slowly. Though exhausted, he pushed forward. Through brambles, across rocks, down a small hill, until finally, he saw it. A village, small houses, footpaths, children playing at a distance. His heart seemed to beat louder. Rusty forced himself to take one more step, then another, until he entered the outskirts of the village. Rusty made it only a few hundred meters inside before his body gave out. He collapsed on the doorstep of a small cottage, unable to move anymore. His breathing was shallow, his paws were cracked, his fur was matted, his eyes were dull. But for the first time in days, he was near people, and that was enough.
Hey there, sweetheart. Well, what happened to you?
Within minutes, a rescue van pulled up. The rescuers examined Rusty and realized he was dehydrated, severely underweight, arthritic, exhausted, and heartbroken. Yet despite everything, Rusty didn't resist. He allowed them to lift him into the van, and when the door closed, Rusty gave a small sigh, almost like he finally felt safe. At the RSPCA center, Rusty received warm blankets, IV fluids, pain medication, soft food, gentle baths, veterinary checkups. His recovery was slow. Some days he was too weak to stand. Some days he only stared at the wall, confused and tired. Some days he whimpered in his sleep. But gradually, he began to change. His tail wagged, just once at first, then again. He lifted his head when caregivers entered. He ate more. He slept peacefully. Rusty was healing, but emotionally, he remained fragile. Margaret visited often. She brought treats, blankets, and soft words. Rusty recognized her scent immediately. One day, when she walked into his room, Rusty slowly stood up, trembling, and took a step toward her. It was the first time he had tried walking without being helped. He pressed his head against her knee. Margaret wiped tears from her eyes. In that moment, Rusty knew. He wanted to go home with her. After reviewing his case, the RSPCA agreed that Rusty deserved a calm, loving home, exactly what Margaret offered. She filled out the adoption papers with trembling hands, smiling softly. When Rusty was brought out, wearing a small blue bandana, Margaret knelt down and hugged him gently. Rusty closed his eyes and leaned fully into her, completely trusting. For the first time since he was abandoned, Rusty had a home, a real one, a safe one, a loving one. Margaret's home became a sanctuary. She set up a soft bed beside the fireplace. She prepared warm meals. She bought supportive harnesses for his arthritis. She gave him companionship every single day. Rusty followed her around the house slowly, his tail wagging softly. He learned to feel safe again. He learned to rest. He learned to love, without fear of being abandoned. He spent his evenings lying beside Margaret's feet as she read books, knitting, or simply talking to him. And every night, Rusty fell asleep knowing he was exactly where he belonged. No more cold forests, no more fear, no more waiting. Just peace. Rusty's story is not just a rescue. It is a reminder that senior dogs feel love just as deeply as puppies, that loyalty should never be repaid with abandonment, that every animal deserves compassion, especially in their final years. Rusty walked 5 painful miles searching for kindness, but in the end, he found more than kindness. He found a family, a second chance. a home filled with warmth. Rusty may never understand why he was left in that forest, but he knows one thing now: he is loved. And sometimes, that is all a heart truly needs. If you believe senior dogs deserve a chance, share Rusty's story. Because somewhere out there, another Rusty is waiting, walking, hoping for someone like you.